And now let's proceed to the next proceedings of the functions. And I'm going to call upon the stage Dr. Kashmira Mehta Ma'am, Dean Faculty of Arts, Kranti Guru, Shyamji Krishna Verma, Kutch University, Gujarat, India. Uh, for her, I would like to say that Dr. Kashmira Paresh Mehta, an academician and a poet, is working as a Dean, Faculty of Arts, and heading the Department of English at Kranti Guru Shyamji Krishna Verma Kutch University, Bhuj. She has been conferred fellowships from UGC for her doctoral research and research project. Her area of research interest includes cultural studies, gender studies, and translation studies. She has so far 12 published books to her credit. Her research papers and articles have appeared in prestigious national and international journals. She is a PhD supervisor and rendering her expert services in the various committees at the university like Executive Council, Academic Council, and chairperson boards of studies in English. She writes and translates extensively in English, Gujarati, and indigenous Kutchi language. Apart from her brilliant academic career, she is profoundly interested in classical music and obtained Upantya Visharad in classical music. She has trained many students in cultural activities and public speaking. So now I'm inviting on the screen today's next resource person, Dr. Kashmira Mehta Ma'am, Dean Faculty of Arts, Gujarat, India. So may we have Dr. Kashmira Mehta Ma'am on the screen, please. Over to you, ma'am.
Hello, very good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Namaskar. Uh, I extend my warm wishes for the very good morning to the Government College of Education staff and administration of Higher Education Department of Jammu and Kashmir. See, this is the wonder of a virtual meet that Kashmira is talking to Kashmir today. So this is something I wished that I could personally come and talk to you all, but at least virtually we are meeting. So this is something advantage of technology we are having. Gar firdos bar ruwe zaminast haminast haminast haminast. This is the words I'm speaking, spoken by Amir Khushro. So I am speaking to the people who are living in the heaven on this earth. I feel all of you are so lucky, and all of us, we are so lucky to have our abode in India. With this note, I would like to switch over to my subject, and that is national education policy. Our chief guest and my friend, I must say, before introducing her as a vice chancellor or anything, Dr. Ami Upadhyay, she has spoken very nicely on this subject. And I'm going to touch upon the key aspects of national education policy. Um, Let me begin with my presentation and one story also. So as I begin my presentation, I am going to tell you one story also. That is about one physics professor who was in the classroom, and he said that why do you have brakes in the car? And one of the students said that we have brakes in the car to stop. You can answer in chat box also. Somebody said that to reduce the speed. Somebody said that to avoid the collision. Uh, then a, one very good answer came from the student, and that was to enable you to drive faster. Now, this is something very important for me, right? That when you have knowledge, or when you think that you have a brake with you, you can drive faster. So this is how the things work in national education policy. I must tell you that national education policy was first drafted or maybe implemented in 1986. Then it was partially uh, then it was partially modified in 1992. I'm going to start my presentation. Give me a second, please. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Uh, Let us begin with the national education policy, and in which I was tell you that it started in 1986, modified in 1992, and then a major change was done in 2009, which laid down legal underpinning that achieving universal elementary education. Now, in this, uh, I must tell you that in this education policy, for 34 years, there was no major change. But breaks, I told you, I told you that story with a reason, that breaks can give you a speed, and rest assure you that you can have a good speed. So that break of 34 years will accelerate our speed, I must tell you. And now let us start with the presentation, guiding light to the policy. My first uh, topic would be the what is the guiding light of the policy, and that is rich heritage of ancient and eternal Bharatiya knowledge, that is Gnan, wisdom, pragya, and truth, satya, as the highest human goals. Now, in her lecture, Ami Upadhyay said that Sa Vidya Ya Vimuktaye. That is the only Vidya. It is the Vidya that liberates. The thing that teaches you, that makes you free, is the knowledge. So these are the guiding lights for our policy. Another topic is acquisition of knowledge, not only for preparatory for life, but complete realization and liberation of self. Mahatma Gandhi once said that I do and I speak the same thing. Maru Jivan age Mari Vani. What I do, what I speak. So the way you live without hypocrisy, it teaches you how to be realistic, how to liberalize self. Next, the world-class Bharatiya Institute like Nalanda, Takshashila, will be to set the highest standards of multidisciplinary teaching, research, and host scholars and students across the globe. Now, these Vishwavidyalayas, Bharatiya Vishwa, you can see the photo of one of the Vishwavidyalayas, where you will find that there were, I speak with much uh, responsibility that there were 70,000 gurukuls in ancient India. And in those ancient gurukuls, we had all the posts like acharyas up to vice chancellors, kulpati, upakulpati, and all that. And I will not go into the detail of this, but I must tell you that there were gurukuls who are going to be known with the names of gurus, like great teachers like Charaka, Shushruta, Chanakya, Panini, Patanjali, Gautam, Nagarjuna, Maitreyi, Gargi, who made seminal contribution to the world knowledge in diversified fields. Now we will look at the vision of National Education Policy 2020. Education system rooted in Indian ethos that contributes directly to the transforming India, that is Bharat. Now, what is Bharat? Changing the name don't make much difference, people say, but I must say it makes a difference, because Bharat, Bha means Prakash, Bha means light, and Rata means the place, the country, the nation, the state which is always looking towards light. That is Bharata. So it develops the deep sense of respect towards the fundamental rights, duties, and constitutional values, bonding with one's country and a conscious awareness of one's role and responsibility in changing world. Another vision of national education policy is that education system to provide an education system that contributes an equitable and vibrant knowledge society by providing high quality education to all. It aims, it visions to instill the skills, values, and dispositions that support responsible commitment to human rights, sustainable development, and living and global well-being, thereby reflecting a truly global citizen. So this is the vision of national education policy. Let us look at the key principles of national education policy. First and the foremost is to respect the diversity and local context in all curriculum. So the question asked to the previous speaker, that rich heritage and culture of South India, rich heritage and culture of Kutch, rich heritage and culture, when we will stop dividing us? We are Bharatiya. So respect diversity. We can disagree to agree. Yeah. Local context in all curriculum, pedagogy, and policy. Promote multilingualism and power of language in teaching and learning. Equity and quality and inclusion as a cornerstone of all educational decisions. Community participation, encouragement, and felicitations for philanthropic, private, and community participation. Use of technology in teaching and learning and removing language barriers and promoting research. Now, one of the speaker was asked the question that there is no place for, there is a place for big data, there is a place for coding, there is a place for lot many things. ICT has been given much importance. I'm coming to that point later.
It's audible now. Can you hear?
Hello?
Thank you.
Hello.
Okay.
Please continue,
okay.
ma'am.
So again, key principles, moving forward to the key principles, unique capabilities of recognizing, identifying them in each student, critical thinking and creativity to encourage logical decision and innovation. Next principle is continuous review based on sustained research and regular assessment by educational experts. Another key principle is a light and tight regulatory framework to ensure integrity, transparency, and resource efficiency in educational system. As you are educational institute, we must tell you that quality of education depends upon education colleges. So you have a big responsibility, I must say, and a rootedness and pride in India, not your or my region. It is about India. So these are the key principles of national education policy. So the first and the foremost key thing or key aspect that I'm going to speak about national education policy is that it is empowering the teachers. A technology based comprehensive teacher requirement planning forecasting exercise to conducted by each state. So each state will be having techno-friendly teachers, I must tell you. Another, teachers must have autonomy in choosing the aspect of pedagogy in classroom. I can sing and teach my students. Yes, I can sing and teach my students. I sing Kabir's Pad when I teach in the classroom, and I correlate it with the local authors. Yes, there is, for example, there is one pad by Kabir that ka nage ka bande cham jo nahi chinhasi atam ram. He is a straight, rough in speaking. He straightforwardly speaks like that. In the same way, Kachi language is having the same kind of author, that is Mekar Dada. He speaks the same language. And though it is Kachi, you may understand it or not, but let me speak that Marivenda Madwa Mome Pondi Dhud, like you will die and you will be dusted. Why this halabulu about everything? So the same spirit, the same thing. Both of them they are speaking. So I have autonomy of choosing the way I am teaching in the classroom. I can be bilingual. I can be dancing like if I'm a practicing dancing. I can sing. I can I'm given autonomy to prepare my own syllabus. Now, this is something very nice. So, we are empowering teachers in national education policy. Career growth to be available for teachers within a single school stage: foundational, preparatory, middle, secondary, or higher education. There is academic leadership positions to be made available for teachers also. National professional standards for teachers. So you have to be updated now. It isn't like that you will you are not going to update yourself and you will be taken for granted in the schools. No, we look at the things. Teachers professional development, merit based tenure track system, and minimum 50 hours of continuous professional development you have to go through. It is complained that many teachers are given the duty out of their schools for various administrative works. Now it is not going to happen. Improving service environment through better infrastructure at the schools and colleges. Next, the most wonderful thing aspect of national education policy is promotion of Indian languages. So all the, I must say, Dongri, Kashmiri, Gujarati, Punjabi, Nepali, Marathi, Tamil, all the languages are treated as equal. Medium of instruction up till grade 5 or maybe up to grade 8 it can be or beyond will be mother tongue or a local language. The languages of India, a fun project is going to be taken. And one most wonderful thing that I could see in this policy is that is Indian Institute of Translation Studies is going to be established. So all the classical languages will be widely available in school and colleges as an option, and manuscriptology and translating and understanding and decoding the manuscript will be in the syllabus also. So promotion of Indian languages will be the major task in national education policy. Promotion of Indian art and culture. So it is going to give the knowledge of India through Bharat to the world. I am very happy to share with you that video documentaries, e-parks are going to be developed on an inspirational luminaries of India in science and beyond. And students will be given logical framework for making ethical decisions at a young age. In later years, it will be expanded along the themes of tolerance, equality, and empathy. Traditional Indian values in all basic human constitution values will be developed in all students. So, promoting the Indian culture and Indian art, we must be proud of our culture and heritage. Somehow we are losing interest, or maybe somehow we are not identifying ourselves with our culture sometimes. The apnapan that we have with our own language. When I was looking at the presentation given by my co-speaker, at that time also, somebody said that, can you speak English? Now, even if I can speak Dongri, or even I can speak Kashmiri, you will be more, you will understand it more. Or I'll be more comfortable if I'll speak in Gujarati. So that apnapan of that language, no, will be included. Experts from Indian Constitution will be also considered an essential reading for all students. Next, how to promote Indian art and culture is one of the major thing that is going to be done is basic training in health, mental health, good nutrition, personal and public hygiene, disaster response, and first aid will be included. So it is going to be the total 360-degree development of a child. It is not just physical, it is not just mental, but chaitasic development of the child will be there also. There will be a scientific explanation of the detrimental and damaging effects of alcohol, tobacco. So these drugs, these will be the part of curriculum. The things, the taboos that we are not speaking will be in the curriculum and will be spoken of. Because when we see a incident of rape, when we look at the incidents of suicide, educated people who are highly educated, they are doing it. Why? Is it the education that we are providing? Values must be imbibed in education, and this is what we are going to do in national education policy. There is cultural identity in self-esteem to be developed in national education policy. It is provided that textbook with local content and flavor. I must tell you that we have when we were preparing syllabus for Kutch University, we have included one of the Kutchi authors. We have translated it into various languages, and we have included him in a textbook. So that local content and flavor will be there. Okay, they are learning languages, they are learning geography of Kutch, they are learning e-commerce, commerce of Kutch, but the same thing with a local flavor. So all textbooks to contain only essential core material, but with that we have to supplement rather it with the local content and flavor. And free digital version on Diksha platform. Now, this is what I was talking about when I was talking about big data and artificial intelligence. And this Diksha program is going to help all the techno-friendly teachers and students, states to prepare their own curricula. So, Kashmir University will be preparing the syllabus, global syllabus. Now, when I say GLOCAL, global syllabus means global and local together. So both these things will be together in a syllabus. So there will be a flavor of state also, nation also, and it will be internationally recognized also. So this is how we have different aspects included in national education policy. Innovative pedagogy, transforming teaching and learning process. Now, what is innovative pedagogy that we have included in national education policy? One small example I will give, that there is no hard separation between curricular and co-curricular activities. If I have Upante Visharad in classical music, maybe it is a Carnatic classical music and Uttar Hindustani classical music. Whatever degree you are possessing, you will be given a credit for that. And uh, happy days are here again. You will be given credit for your sports activity also, for your NSS and NCC activity also. So there will be equal weightage for curricular and co-curricular activities. There will be a freedom of choosing the subjects. There will be a experimental learning. There will be experiential learning, integrated pedagogy, that integration of arts, sports, storytelling, ICT, integrated pedagogy of blended learning. Lot many things are going to be changed, and there will be peer tutoring also. Student can teach students, and even sometimes I feel when I teach in the class that sometimes student also teach you. Yes, they can teach you. Use an integration of technology. Integration of technology enabled pedagogy in the classroom, not only in class schools, but in higher education. Also, we have smart rooms in the class. Yes, where we can start YouTube, where we can start videos, audios, anything we want. We can paint even. Yeah, I paint in my classrooms. Inclusive, caring culture. Now, this is what we need. We have to come out of these narrow, selfish boundaries that I belong to this region. So, this region is perfect. This region is good. This is excellent. So, inclusive, caring culture that will be taken care of while implementing national education policy. It is not about narrow fragments of um, mental blocks, but it is mental and physical health and well-being also. So, mandatory for all students to acquire skills in health, nutrition, physical education, fitness, wellness, and sports. I remember Swami Vivekananda at this juncture. He said, उन्होंने बताया था एक बार कि you just go to play a football once in a ground and then speak of spiritualism. Yes, the physically fit child uh, 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 can in Gujarati we have a saying that body reflects mind. जैसे जैसा आप खाना खाते हो, अन्न तेवु मन, जैसा आपका अन्न है वैसा आपका मन होगा, और जैसा आपके मन होगा वैसे आपके विचार होंगे, और जैसे आपके विचार होंगे, the way you think you will implement it, and what you think you will be. Yes, it leads to that much thing. So there will be inclusive caring culture in national education policy. There will be health checkups. There will be reduction in the weight of school bags. There will be health and wellness. These will be the mandatory skills in curriculum. There will be a position of a counselor in the school. There will be a major focus on a children with disability. And there will be inclusive caring culture at school. When we talk of cultural barriers, people from different regions and different cultures, they should care about each other. They should have that kind of a mingling with each other. This should be taken care of in national education policy. It is having, as we have open universities and adult education policies, I must tell you that there are thousands, crores of people illiterate. Still, there are in our country. So adult education and lifelong learning centers will be opened. That is the innovative initiation in national education policy. It will be integrated with higher education institutes, and there will be a technologically options that how you want to study. Adult learning will be on apps, will be online courses, modules will be set up for adult education also. There will be online books, ICT equipped libraries, adult education centers. Now these will be developed in next implementation years of national education policy. Because if we want to achieve the bigger goal, the continuous development, if we want to achieve sustainable goals of our growth, SDG, what I say, then we have to go for this adult education and lifelong learning and continuous education. And one should learn continuously. Here it is, online and digital education. Inclusion and access of online and digital education. Now, there are so many, I must tell you that there is no access or little access to technology. So, we will have to address that gap. While we implement this national education policy, we have to address that gap, that digital platform should be available to all the Indians. This is now must. So there will be a pilot study will be conducted for this, and there will be expansion of the platform like Diksha, Swayam, MOOCs courses. These will be integrated in online and digital education. Next is support for gifted students, students with special talents. There are students, even I know one of the student who had completed at the age of 13 years, he had completed MSc IT from our university. Now there are students with gifted intelligence. Now these or maybe sometimes there are Divyang students. So they should be taken care of. All these specially abled students should be taken care of. Encourage gifted, talented students pursue real beyond the general school curriculum. They will be pursuing the degrees from the universities and the colleges. NCRT and NCT will develop the guidelines for the education of gifted children. This is something very important to you all as you are from education colleges. B.Ed programs to allow the specialization in education of gifted children. So gifted teachers will be teaching gifted children. This is so wonderful. We are waiting for that only. Olympiads and competition on various subjects to be conducted across the country, so you can find out the gifted children. Extensive use of technology to encourage talented and gifted children. And project-based clubs to be encouraged and supported to all the students, school levels, right? So this is something we have especially for gifted and specially abled students. Setting up of Parak. What is Parak? National Center for Performance, P. Assessment, okay. Review for R, Parak, yeah. And analysis of knowledge for holistic development. When I say holistic development, I must tell you that it is physical, it is mental, it is chaitasik, spiritual, it is happiness quotient that we are going to develop. It is spiritual quotient, EQ, emotional quotient that we have to develop. So not only IQ, it is EQ, it is emotional quotient, sorry. It is HQ, it is happiness quotient, it is SQ, it is spiritual quotient that we are going to develop. Shift towards competency-based assessments. It is promoting 21st century critical and creative thinking skills in the classroom. So, Parak, what is the objective of Parak? I must tell you that it is setting norms, standards, and guidelines for assessment and evaluation, guiding state achievement survey, conducting a national achievement survey, and monitoring achievements of learning outcomes of the country. Now, up till the implementation, it was okay in national education policy, but now it will monitor also that what objectives we had set, and now what is the outcome of it. Are we achieving the targets, the goals that we set? Next, we are bridging the gaps in vocational education. Now, in Indian education system, I must tell you that the student who is studying is looking at the packages only. That if I will be engineer or a doctor or so and so. But the much hyped degrees, they are the degrees because you are getting highly paid for that, right? Now, what is about knowledge? What is about skills? I must tell you that a skilled plumber is paid more than a primary teacher sometimes. Yes, skilled mason can be highly paid per day. So vocational education at all the levels will be included. There will be a Lokvidya knowledge developed in India and will be made accessible to all the students. I must tell you that there were temples built up 500 years ago. In South India, you will find temples 2000 years back, architecturally and sculpturally. They are the beautiful buildings, I must say. So that is the Lokvidya we have. So we have to redevelop those things again. With this, I want to connect one story that I have read somewhere, that UN Sang said that when Nalanda and Taxila, these two libraries were burnt by the invaders in India, the fire that started continued up to 3 months to burn all the books. Now see the library, the books it is having 3 months to burn the complete library. So we have lost many things. We have to reinvent those things. Open distance learning mode, skill gap analysis. Now there is a gap. Now say for example, what kind of gap? Very simple example I am giving. If somebody has taken a degree in commerce and he is now getting job in a bank. So he is very good at accounts, but not much confident in communication skills. Now he has to deal with the customers. So there is a gap. We have to identify that gap and start teaching bridge courses at all the levels, at the school levels, at the university levels, at the master degree levels. We have to merge all the skills, mix and merge. Say, for example, if a doctor is having a knowledge of yoga, food habits, pranayam, various yogasanas, it can help without giving much medicine to your prescribing many medicine to your patient. You can treat. Yes, so this is how we have to bridge the gap. We have to merge. Say for example, vocational crafts like Ayurveda and we have allopathy right now in a hype. We have to. There will be potters, there will be gardeners, there will be artists. They local vocational crafts should be taught in the say for example the handworks that you have in Kashmir. I love that handwork. Now, this handwork should be taught as a certificate course in Kashmiri weaving, for example, or maybe a handwork. We have Kutchi handwork and it is a world famous handwork. I must tell you that Kutch nahi dekha to kuch nahi dekha. Amitabh Bachchan also said. So I invite all of you to visit Kutch once, and you will find cultural diversity we have in our India. How can we implement it and preserve it? Yes, for the next generation, preserving the things the way it is very important. We have lost so many languages, we have lost so many art forms. Now, whatever we have to preserve it. So, this vocational education at all the levels will preserve traditional art, culture of Bharata. Yes. Next, there is a gender sensitization. So there will be a gender inclusion fund in in the universities and the colleges. There will be a transgender students, male students, and female students at all the universities. Now, what national education policy is going to do? It will bridge the gender gap, focus on bridging the gender gap and provide equal opportunities to all. There are no opportunities or sometimes little opportunities for different genders. Now this is we are addressing in national education policy. Policies targeted for girls thrust on designing policies and schemes targeted towards female students in national education policy. Safety and rights. Now, this is a highly concerned topic, that careful attention to the safety and rights of all the children. I'm talking, especially I can talk about girls particularly, to retain them in school. I'm not talking about just retaining to educate them in the school, but educate male student also, to be equal, to treat them equally in the colleges and schools. Strengthening and extension of these kind of gender sensitizing activities in the curriculum will be there in the national education policy, and it is much needed nowadays. Next, focus on socio-economically disadvantaged groups. So there will be a focus on ST, SC, OBC students, socially, economically disadvantaged, and even geographical identities will be there, that students from villages, small towns, border areas should be given special facilities for education. So it will be taken care of irrespective of race, creed, and gender. Education makes it possible for all people to stand out as equal and with all the other persons from different walks of life. I think I have spoken enough about the variety of aspects of national education policy, and I'll end with Swami Vivekananda's quote, that education is the manifestation of perfection already in a man. So we have to manifest our own perfection, which we have. Thank you very much. I'm grateful for giving me the best opportunity to talk to the people from the very different region of India, Bharata, I must say. I'm very happy. And if you have any questions or any observations, rather, you can talk to me. Yes, any questions?
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a wonderful deliberation, and uh, I cannot find questions as of now. Only compliments in the chat box, and your presentation itself spoke a lot, and you were very clear in what you were about to tell us. Uh, Over to you, Ravinder. Please unmute yourself, Ravinder.
Now, am I audible now?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kashmira Mehta ma'am. Your lecture was very wonderful, and I think as we are the would-be teachers, and we are going to be good teachers, touch wood. And I think the way you explain national education policy to we people, that I must say that it would be very helpful for us, and it gives a flexibility to all the students like me who can choose subjects with their own choice. Thank you so much, ma'am.